Cadillac is deep into negotiations regarding their 2026 Formula One lineup, and it appears the team has already locked in its driver choices. Although the original plan was to feature an American driver, it now looks like Colton Herta is no longer in the running. Instead, Cadillac seems set to field two drivers with previous F1 experience. Looking ahead, Cadillac will supply their own engine starting in 2029. But this decision to pivot away from a homegrown star raises questions. Will American fans feel alienated? And what will be the financial repercussions for Cadillac? The announcement of an 11th team joining the Formula One grid was initially met with great excitement. However, as serious discussions have progressed behind the scenes, it's clear Cadillac is weighing all of its options carefully. Despite earlier promises to prioritize American talent, the team's focus has shifted. Leading the shortlist now are Sergio Perez and Zhou Guanyu, signaling a more pragmatic approach. While many had written Perez off due to his recent struggles at Red Bull, insider comments from drivers like Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda suggest the issues were more car-related than driver error. For Cadillac, Perez represents a huge asset, a seasoned racer with victories across multiple F1 eras and valuable insights from his Red Bull tenure. Securing a driver of his caliber would be a major milestone for the fledgling team. Team boss Mario Andretti emphasized the need for an experienced figure to guide them through their early years, making Perez a strategic choice. Other seasoned drivers like Valtteri Bottas, a 10-time Grand Prix winner, were also considered. However, Daniel Ricciardo, another candidate, has reportedly declined any offers, making his return to the grid unlikely for now. Initially, Colton Herta was expected to be a central figure in Cadillac's project, especially given the team's desire to embody an American identity. Herta's potential signing was a major talking point supporting Cadillac's F1 entry. Yet now, the narrative has evolved. It's worth noting that Sergio Perez, while not from the US, hails from Mexico, a nation on the North American continent. Perhaps Cadillac isn't abandoning their regional pride after all, but rather playing a more strategic and nuanced game, thinking several moves ahead while others are still playing catch-up. Hold on. Did you know that 99% of you watching right now aren't subscribed? If you enjoy my content and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. It takes just a second, but it means the world to me and helps keep this channel going. Join the family and let's grow together. Now back to the story. The value that Sergio Perez brings to the table is something even Max Verstappen or any other driver can't replicate, at least in this particular market. Perez's popularity is a major reason why the Mexican Grand Prix remains on the Formula One calendar, at a time when declining viewership had organizers considering pulling out altogether. Beyond Mexico, Perez also draws significant crowds in places like Miami and Austin, making his potential signing a win-win for Cadillac both commercially and competitively. Financially, Perez is a powerhouse as well. It's widely known that he carries substantial sponsorship support, with companies ready to invest as much as $30 million annually into whichever team he races for. One of his biggest backers, Telmex, under the leadership of Carlos Slim, has played a pivotal role in funding Perez's career. However, what's even more surprising than Cadillac's pursuit of Perez is their consideration of Zhou Guanyu over Colton Herta for the second seat. Yes, Zhou already has experience in F1, which gives him a clear edge over Herta, who has yet to even start a Grand Prix. But what makes Zhou particularly attractive is that he too brings financial backing. When he made his F1 debut with Alfa Romeo, he was heavily funded. And while his early results weren't headline-grabbing, they showed potential. It's true that Zhou struggled at Sauber, often trailing behind his teammate Valtteri Bottas, but his recent appointment as Ferrari's reserve driver suggests that key figures in the sport still believe in his abilities. Ferrari's willingness to keep him in their circle speaks volumes. They wouldn't have offered him that role if they had completely lost faith. Additionally, Zhou's experience driving a Ferrari-powered car could prove invaluable under the new engine and battery regulations that are set to reshape the sport. His technical knowledge might be exactly what Cadillac needs as they prepare to build their own engines for the future. Cadillac could find themselves with a notable advantage over other midfield and backmarker teams, thanks to their expected use of Ferrari components in their early seasons. Former F1 driver Juan Pablo Montoya recently shared his thoughts on Cadillac's potential lineup, suggesting, "I think Sergio Perez would be a great fit for Cadillac, and if I had to guess, the second driver might be Zhou Guanyu." Together, they would make a solid pairing. Montoya pointed out that since Zhou is currently Ferrari's reserve driver, he's already gaining valuable experience with Ferrari's systems and development processes. Given Cadillac's planned partnership with Ferrari engines, having Zhou on board would make a lot of strategic sense. Although Colton Herta was initially seen as the obvious choice for Cadillac's American Dream project, that assumption appears to have been premature. Herta, currently preparing for the Indy 500, has made it clear that an F1 move isn't as straightforward for him as some assumed. In his own words, he said, "It's not just about packing up and leaving. I'd be walking away from great people and great opportunities here. If an F1 offer came, it would need very serious thought. I've had the dream dangled in front of me for years. It's kind of numbed me now, and I don't even think about it much anymore." This uncertainty doesn't help Cadillac's original vision of bringing a homegrown American star to Formula One. However, the team has realized that they can't simply place a driver in the seat based on nationality, especially when there are experienced drivers eager for the opportunity. Securing either Perez or Zhou would also bring significant financial benefits. Cadillac stands to receive major investment in their engine program, especially if they can guarantee their commitment to one or both drivers through 2029, the year General Motors plans to launch Cadillac's own power unit. The anticipation around Cadillac building their first in-house F1 engine is huge, and the whole motorsport world is watching to see how it unfolds. Montoya, however, voiced some caution regarding Herta's potential switch to F1, stating, "Everyone says Cadillac needs an American driver, but it would be crazy for Colton to jump ship. Speed isn't the issue, he's got enough of that, but moving to Europe, adapting to a completely new culture and the massive shift in environment could easily overwhelm him. It's a much bigger challenge than people think." Given all this, the situation is becoming clear. Perez and Zhou are the top contenders for Cadillac's inaugural F1 roster. Both bring valuable assets, experience, marketability, and crucial financial backing. While there's still some uncertainty, particularly regarding whether Bottas would entertain a full-time return, the momentum is clearly shifting toward a Perez-Zhou partnership. Now the real question is, with these two drivers at the helm, can Cadillac become a serious force in Formula One? And between Perez and Zhou, who do you think has the greater potential to lead the team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And while you're at it, check out the next video popping up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe my channel.